Today I want to talk about self-observation, and I want to talk about authenticity. I want to talk about the importance of being honest with ourselves, with where we are at. I want to talk about how we need to start being more keenly aware of what we are actually doing in our day-to-day, and if we are genuinely and authentically living from the state of the wish fulfilled or not. If you are struggling with the application and understanding of how to change your reality, definitely stick around to the end, because we're going to break down one of the most important and often misunderstood points in all of this. By the way, hi, I'm Misty Renee, and on this channel we talk all things manifestation and the law of assumption, so if that's a topic that you want to learn more about, definitely be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for notifications, and if you enjoy my videos, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're interested in any of my resources, such as my coaching programs, my workshops, masterclasses, I got links to all that information down below, so don't forget to check that out. But before we go much further, I want to really get clear on what self-observation really is in the context of the law of assumption and manifestation. Though this is a topic that I have brought up many times, it's important to reiterate, and it's important for those who may be new and maybe don't fully understand what this means. Self-observation, in the most simplest of terms, is the art of becoming aware of your inner world, your thoughts, your feelings, your assumptions, your reactions, your inner dialogue or inner monologue, without immediately trying to change them or flip them. You're essentially holding a mirror up to your mind, to your inner state, and you're just simply noticing what you find there. We want to get very, very transparent with ourselves, and this point cannot be stressed enough. We want to ask ourselves the following questions. What do I actually believe about myself? What are the stories that I'm repeating in my mind? How do I really feel when I think about or imagine what I desire? This awareness is what is going to create the space for transformation. This is what is going to allow you to actually gauge where you are dwelling in your day-to-day. Without this observation, without the self-awareness, we oftentimes just wind up recycling the same old, and nothing changes. And this self-awareness, this observation and authenticity matters for a myriad of reasons. As I stated in my last video, and will continue to state over and over again, manifestation is not about lying to yourself or pretending. It is about living and authentically being from a certain state of consciousness, from a certain set of beliefs and assumptions. So we want to start to observe and take note of what state we dominantly occupy throughout our day-to-day. This is how we gauge our progress. This is how we validate if what we are doing is correct, because otherwise we remain double-minded. We may be telling ourselves that we want love and affection. We might even be affirming for it or trying to say the words. But if deep down you are feeling lonely, isolated, not chosen, you just wind up affirming one thing consciously, well, on the subconscious level, there's another story playing out entirely. And it is always what you are at a subconscious level that manifests. It is always what you believe at the subconscious level that manifests. A question that I often get asked is, why does it seem like the opposite occurs than what I've been imagining? Frequently, we have the experience of imagining one thing and then something else happens, and we're often confused as to why this takes place. To remedy this, we have to start being aware. We have to practice self-observation and authenticity, being honest with ourselves, because through our awareness and this honesty with ourselves, we'll be able to gauge if we have actually been living from that end state or not. Have I been truly living from that state of the wish fulfilled, or have I been trying to? This is going to shed all the light that we need as to why things are happening to us and why we are experiencing the things that we do. This is also how we build our faith in this law, in ourself as the operant power. The more that we become aware and experience the inner world being reflected externally, we will naturally and effortlessly begin to accept the premise that you yourself are the operant power, that everything in your 3D is nothing more than a reflection of your inner world. So we understand the importance of observation and authenticity and honesty. How do we apply this? How do we put this into practice? Number one, we have to begin to pause and check in with ourselves throughout our day-to-day. We want to ask ourselves, how am I feeling right now? What is the story I'm telling myself or identifying with? We then need to go a step further and ask, do my words and feelings match? Or am I just saying what I wish was true? Notice what comes up without judgment. Just observe. Just be aware. And this part is important. It may not be comfortable. It may cause quite a bit of discomfort. Sit in it anyways. Do not try to fight or suppress what comes up for you. Just see it. Allow the discomfort to be if it's there. It is okay to admit if right now you are feeling scared or frustrated or doubtful. This acknowledgement is not weakness. In fact, it will empower you. It will give you clarity and insight that is more valuable than you realize. Once we have observed, we can then begin to process and move through that discomfort. We can use this time to focus on breathing exercises if we're feeling anxious. We can allow ourselves to do something that will ease us into a more state of calm or relaxed. Find an activity that is enjoyable, that feels good, that will take some of the pressure off of you. Then, once we are in a more relaxed, neutral, or calm state, we can then shift our focus. We can shift our attention to imagine what we desire to have, what we desire to experience instead. What we're going to quickly grow to realize is that manifestation is not about chasing outcomes. It's not about doing a bunch of techniques to get the certain prize at the end of the tunnel. The power here lies in our ability to observe, choose, and embody a whole new state entirely. This is the first and most important and most often overseen step to all of this, because God cannot ever be mocked. We cannot lie to ourselves. And this is the point that I must stress over and over again, because I certainly fell for this, just as many people have. We cannot deceive ourselves. As it even says in Scripture, examine yourselves to see whether you are in faith. Do you not realize that Jesus Christ is within you, unless you failed to meet the test? This verse speaks at the power of observation and what we should be doing throughout our day-to-day. Neville Goddard himself stressed constantly the importance of observation, even calling it the first of his 3 fundamentals, as I'm going to share in the following excerpts. The first is from Neville's lecture called Your Creative Power. I say that imagining has been, it is, and it always will be the prime source of everything that comes into our world. That the roots of our being are in divine imagining, and divine imagining unfolds itself creatively in us. So every so-called natural effect in this world has an imaginal cause, and not a natural. A natural cause only seems. It is a delusion of our fading memory. Our memory is so very, very short, we cannot connect the imaginal act to the effect that we observe, and we deny parenthood. We can't recognize our own harvest. We deny that we ever at any moment planted the thing that we are reaping in this world. But my claim is every natural effect in this world has an imaginal cause and not a natural one. Neville is stating very clearly that the reason we are not accepting our power, the reason that we do not believe that we are the operant power, is because we do not make the connection between what we have impressed and what we have accepted and what is outpictured. But everything in this world has an imaginal cause. Nothing happens by chance or coincidence. And I want to give another excerpt from Neville's 3 Fundamentals lecture to really drive this point home. Man, in his blindness, is quite satisfied with himself, but heartily dislikes the circumstances and situations of his life. He feels this way, not knowing that the cause of his displeasure lies not in the condition nor the person with whom he is displeased, but in the very self he likes so much, not realizing that he surrounds himself with the true image of himself, and that what he is, that only he can see. He is shocked when he discovers that it has always been his own deceitfulness that made him suspicious of others. Self-observation would reveal this deceitful one in all of us, and this one must be accepted before there can be any transformation of ourselves. At this moment, try to notice your inner state. To what thoughts are you consenting? With what feelings are you identified? You must be ever careful where you are within yourself. Rebirth depends on inner work on oneself. No one can be reborn without changing this self. Any time that an entirely new set of reactions enters into a person's life, a change of consciousness has taken place. A spiritual rebirth has occurred. So these are just a couple of the things that Neville has said on the importance of self-observation and being very clear with what we are doing and where we are dwelling within ourselves. It is so easy, it is far too easy for us to fall back into the autopilot, to fall back into old habit, old conditioning, so much so that we don't even realize we're doing it. And this is how we fall trap to the same patterns over and over again. So before we concern ourselves with all the techniques and trying to get the thing and making it all about the external confirmation, we have to pause, we have to take a step back and really start to become aware of who we are. What are we doing? Who are we being? What are the reactions that we're having? The thought patterns that we're noticing? Are they stemming from the new state, the state of the wish fulfilled? Or are we still occupied and entertained with the old story and the old premises? This observation is how we gauge. This is how we note if we are doing this right or not. There's zero need ever to look to the 3D for confirmation or validation. The only confirmation and validation that we need is going to be taking place within ourselves. And once you really start to do this, once you really start to let yourself be fully honest with where you are and what you are feeling and what you are assuming, once you become more increasingly aware of the states that you are occupying throughout your day-to-day, where you were once completely asleep and on autopilot, you are now embracing this awareness of your inner state. The more that we bring to light what we are doing and no longer deceiving ourselves or trying to lie to ourselves or suppress what we're really feeling, that is how you gain clarity and validation. That is the first and most important step in this entire practice. And that is the most important step to transforming your life and manifesting anything you want. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope this was illuminating. I hope this helped to clarify some things. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments, what is one pattern that you have been observing lately? I'm curious to know. Also, if you're interested in any of my resources, such as my coaching programs, my workshops, and masterclasses, my blog, my podcast, my social links, I got all that information down in the description box, so don't forget to check that out. Also, be sure to check out the other videos on this channel. Be sure to check out my Manifestation Fundamentals playlist. Each video is a different topic, but they all talk about how to create the best life ever. So until we meet next time, you guys, as always, please take care, be well, and never forget how powerful you truly are. Happy manifesting, guys.